Welcome to a special Halloween week edition of Catamount Football. I'm Bill Mayo, your host. And on this week's show, we're going to take a look back at last week's game with the Heritage Generals and also talk about this week's contest with the Southeast Whitfield Raiders. So stay right here, back with more Catamount Football in just a minute.
Hi, my name is Charles R. Hicks Sr. I'm the owner of AAA Transformers, Transmission, and Complete Auto Repair. This is my son, CJ. You well know us for remanufacturing your transmission, but did you also know we are a brake, AC, and tune-up specialist? Our brakes come with a lifetime warranty on pads and shoes. So don't just trust your vehicle to anyone. Come to AAA Transformers, Transmission, and Complete Auto Repair, where we can make it stop, we can make it go, we can make it shift, and we can make it cold. Check us out on our website at AAATransformers.com.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance costs? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
Well, Coach Land, hard to believe we've been through week 8 now of the season and had an interesting game, I guess, with Heritage Friday night. You know, good first half and just a really quick second half with the clock running the entire time. I mean, just kind of wiped out the second half.
Well, it was the kids did a great job of starting fast. I think they knew, once again, we had a very business-like approach. You know, it's people don't understand it. It's hard to prepare. You know, it's easy to prepare for the teams that are, that are good, that have a good record, that are going to come out and really,
big rivalry games.
Yeah, rivalry games. I mean, those are the easy weeks, or a good athlete or something like that. But sometimes, when you're particularly at this point, weeks 1 through 4, everybody's still got a chance. But the kids are smart, and by this week, they've started doing some math, and if they've not, the paper has done it for them, or maybe parents or neighbors or whatever. So, these guys really, really understood that this team had a lot of pieces. I mean, we were talking before the game, very young team. They'll see on the video, fullback, 5'11", 220 freshman, quarterback, 6'3", 180 sophomore with a big arm. All of the offensive linemen were sophomores or juniors, so they'll all be back. So clearly a lot of great pieces on this team. Our guys came out, did kind of what we do, did it very efficiently in those first couple of drives. The only drive in the first half that we didn't score on was when we shot ourselves in the foot with a penalty. And outside of that, like I said, just kind of worked the field. We're balanced for us. So they just played a great game offensively. Defensively, I chewed on the guys a little bit at halftime, and it's one of those things when you go back and look at the film, it's never as good as you think it is, but it's never as bad as you think it is. I think I was more dissatisfied with some calls that were being made more than the team, but needed to take it out on somebody. But the defense finished with negative yards for the offense, which that's even though they lost their shutout with that first drive. We made a couple of just bad plays there on that first drive, and after that they woke up and really just kind of shut them down. And then obviously special teams I thought had another good solid game. Tyler Nolan has proven to just really be a special weapon for us. But good snaps, good kicks, and thankfully good holes as well.
I think one thing is a little different than what we're used to seeing. I think the cold weather affected our kickoff guys a little bit.
It did. It really
accused
did.
them of being reptiles. They get a little sluggish when the weather got cold.
Yeah. Well, I even told one of them at halftime. I said, "Look, go in and roll toilet tissue up, put it in your shoe. Come on now. We got to kick that thing out of the end zone." Which I later heard he was wrapping his foot with toilet paper. So this was our first game. Game was 40 degrees at kickoff and had a nice blustering wind, and it does affect. I mean, I think it affects everybody except the guys that's up there in the up in the press box, with the heater on and a cup of coffee.
There was no heater up there, I can tell you.
Well, but the other guys, I think they acclimated to it, and truthfully, both sides have to play. But that first game in the cold, we've seen it historically. We looked at it. It does affect things. It gets some guys excited, and some guys are like, oh man, this is going to be cold tonight. So, but like I said, the guys played really, really well. The one thing that I think I was looking back, and watching the film, I know that you guys had put in a couple of new blocking schemes. We had put in a couple of new little slants on our defensive front that we needed to see against somebody other than guys that we were doing it against every day. And I like the execution of those, and it was kind of some games within the game that we needed to have. So we'll keep working on those things, and those things should make us a better team down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were some things. They presented a little different front than what we typically see out of a lot of teams, and so it was an opportunity for us to work on some different schemes up front, and worked out pretty well. And of course they moved around too on defense.
Well, and we've talked about this, and we talked about this with Randall Davidson on the radio. This is a team that's always matched up well with us.
Yes,
I mean, if we look back
really
at us the last 3 times, regardless of their record and their score, they've always matched up very well against us, and we have always had a problem with a few of their, I don't want to say stunts, because I don't think it's stunts. It's just the way they play. Yeah. And then flip side of the coin, offensively, they've done a few things, particularly last year, which was a more senior-laden team. But they did a couple of things with a couple of guys that really created a little bit of a little crease for us.
One year it was a kicking game.
Yeah, one year it was a kicking game, 4 onside kicks in a row. We had that stuff. I got a lot of respect for Coach James, and he's doing a great job up there, even though the program, the record may not reflect that. I know they're getting the most out of probably a lot of the kids that they have, and we'll look forward to seeing them down the road somewhere.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
Wood, $2.99. Wood, $1.59. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback.
Back on Catamount football, we've got our player interview segment. Guys, welcome to the show and introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Chris Hicks. I'm a junior, number 75, and I play right offensive guard on the O-line.
I'm Peter Sigmund. I am also a junior. I play wide receiver, and I'm number 13.
All right, Chris, let's start with you. Talk to me about the game Friday night with Heritage. They kind of did some interesting things on defense and presented a little bit of a challenge for us up front, didn't they?
Yes, sir. They came out in a little bit of a pair front, and they switched around and bumped a little bit differently than we expected. But I think our O-line handled it pretty well. And even though we practiced it a little different, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, and that's happened a couple of times this year. And you got, and I think that's a compliment to you guys and how we've been running the ball when teams will show us one thing on film and they'll come out in the game and they'll do something differently. Talk about how you guys adjust and the communication and what goes on when all of a sudden you come out and they've lined up differently than what we've seen on film and what we've been working on during the week.
Well, it takes a lot of communication between all of us O-linemen, especially our center points out everything. The center is usually the leader of our offensive line, and he points it out to our guards and we echo it down, and vice versa. If our tackle sees something, then he'll echo it down to our guard and we'll echo it down to the other side. Mm-hmm. And it all works out when we communicate well and get everybody blocked like they're supposed to be.
Absolutely, and that's so important because we have so many combination blocks where you guys are working together. You might be working with the center, you might be working with the tackle. So that communication part is really important, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, talk a little bit about the group overall, and we've been playing 6-7 guys, and kind of makes it good when we've got those guys working in there, right, and makes practice a little bit more fun.
Oh yes, sir. When you have a few guys rotating in at every position, then makes everything a lot easier. Keeps everybody fresh for the games. Keeps everybody energetic for practice. Everybody's ready to learn. Makes everything a lot easier.
Right. And we've seen a lot of different defenses so far this year and a lot of different fronts. Talk about kind of the group overall, and you know how you feel like the line's progressed from the beginning of the year to now.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I feel like we weren't really coming together like an offensive line or an offense and all is supposed to. But now, towards the end of the year, we're really starting to come together as an offense. And no matter who we put in, if we switch in somebody, they're moving right along like one team, and it's really working out for us because, you know, we've got 3 guards, 3 tackles, 2 tight ends, and everything's really working out.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of different guys running the football, but blocking for Kelvis is kind of special, I would think, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk about him a little bit, and you know what he kind of brought back to the offense when he came back.
Well, Kelvis has got speed, of course, and he's just a great guy. He's really energetic, and he'll get us going. He likes to get the O-line going. Every time he gets tackled, he just gets madder, and he likes to get us going.
That's good. Well, Chris, thanks for coming on, and keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Peter, let's talk to you now. Talk to me about being a receiver in the Catamount offense.
Well, we're more of a run-first kind of team, but it's really key that we make all our blocks because Kelvis is one of those players that, just like that, he can pop it outside and score on a big play. So we always have to be ready to make the key block.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point there because anytime a running back makes a long run, when you see Kelvis or Tyler rip off a 30, 40, 50-yard run, it's not just the guys up front that have made those blocks. One of you guys downfield has gotten on a safety or gotten on a corner, and a lot of times we see it in the highlights when we're watching the game. The fans will of one of you guys up on those. Talk about that because that's a challenge, right? I mean, you're out way in space. Those guys are pretty athletic, so you've got to get your hands on them and stay in front of them.
You have to, first off, once you get closer to the person you're blocking, you're just going to have to break down, chop your feet, because in the open field, they can just go anywhere they want. They can break left, right, but you got to be able to adjust to that. Just depending on where Kelvis is running, you have to get in front of them.
Right. Now, obviously, another part of your job is catching the football, and we've started throwing the ball a little bit more, and you had a big catch a couple of weeks ago. Talk about the passing game and your role in that.
Well, I like it, and
don't know many receivers that don't. And you guys are always open, right?
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's fun. It's just key that we do run all our routes to like as fast as we can because there's certain scenarios where sometimes the defense will give you different looks and your route, if you're not running it as hard as you can, could possibly be open, but since you're not giving full effort, it's not. But it's key that
and there's so much I think behind the scenes on being a receiver because you guys have to be on the same page with the quarterback. He's got to know if you're running an out or a curl or a slant or whatever it is. Talk about that aspect of it because you guys, I mean, you guys, I don't know how many balls you catch a day in practice and how many throws that Peyton makes to you, but there's a lot of work that goes on and a lot of precision involved in those routes and making sure everybody's on the same page.
It's all mental, really. You have to know the depth of each route, but you also have to know when to check to different routes if it's a one high or two.
Explain that because somebody watching may not know that you guys have the ability to change your route based on the coverage, right?
Usually when there's one safety, we run a route that just stays away from him, and then when there's 2 safeties, we try to split them. So. And
you have to be able to recognize that before the ball snapped, and Peyton also has to see that, and you guys have to be on the same page with that kind of thing, right?
Yep, there's a lot of trust.
Yep, absolutely. How about goals for the rest of the season? And we've played 8 games now, coming up on week 9 here. What goals do you and the rest of the team have?
Probably to continue because we're on this path of being more of a balanced team, so we can just take some of the pressure off Kelvis.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that would be a very big goal.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, we need to be able to throw the ball consistently, and so we're not 90% run and 10% pass, right?
That's right.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for everything you do, and look forward to watching the rest of the season.
Thank you.
So right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
Got car problems? That's no problem for AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into AAA Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. AAA Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs, all backed by the best warranty in the business. That's AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists.
Back on Catamount Football with our coaches interview segment. I've got Coach Adam Long. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Talk a little bit about, kind of introduce yourself to the Catamount fans and your background and kind of how you got to this point.
I'm originally from Dalton. I went to West Georgia, played football there for a couple of years, played at Faulkner. Then I finished up at Kennesaw, and fate brought me here.
What made you decide to go into education and to be a coach?
Well, in college, I was coached by one of your former teammates, Daryl Dickey, and Coach Dickey is a consummate professional. He is a great person, very knowledgeable about the game, and the way he goes about his business I really admired, and he inspired me to get into coaching. And so when I go to Kennesaw, I really developed a passion for history, and from there I knew that I wanted to be a coach and a teacher. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Talk about your duties with the Catamount football team and kind of what your responsibilities are this year.
Right. Well, I coach the wide receivers. My job is to have them physically and mentally prepared each and every week, and I also signal plays in during the game. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about talk about your receiver group and some of the guys you have in there.
Oh wow, I've got a lot of really athletic players, but some of the guys that you see more on Friday nights, Zeke Cobb,
young fellas, freshman,
right?
Zeke's got a lot of potential down the line, and certainly we've seen a lot of improvement from him from game 1 to game 8 through game 8, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sky's the limit for him. He's going to get what he puts in, and I'm really excited to see his future. Then we've got Peter Sigmund, who is a leader. In the way he prepares, the way he goes about his business.
Extremely smart.
Very smart, very intelligent. Then you have Charlie Martin. Most people probably don't know this about Charlie, but Charlie has a photographic memory. So, you know, it's easy for him to learn anything. He's athletic as well. Tyler Britton is another really good receiver for us. He's got great hands, very athletic.
Hard worker. Tyler's always out there.
Great attitude, great sense of humor as well. Another guy we've got is Jay Davis, who is a new kid here, came from South Georgia, and he's very explosive athlete. And right now he's going through the learning process and still trying to pick up our system because he came so late.
Talk a little bit about the communication aspect between the quarterback and the receivers, and what those guys have to know to be on the same page with Peyton.
Right. Well, the most important thing is they have to know if the defensive coverage is with one high safety or two high. Depending on how the defense is playing, we're going to adjust our route. We may run it more skinny, or we may run it what I like to call a little fatter, is further across the field. But basically, they're looking at the safeties. They're both looking for the same thing, and when they see it, they know that Peyton knows that my receivers are doing this, and the receivers know that Peyton's going to throw it here.
Now, sometimes it's not as simple as just looking out there, because teams will try to disguise it. So they've got to be able to. And they get that through watching film and through different looks in practice. But teams will try to disguise their coverages, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you always have to be prepared for some sort of rotation. And a lot of times you'll look for a corner or a safety who's maybe piggybacking that's going to show a blitz. And a lot of times the receivers will come back and talk to us, and we'll get it signaled up, or we'll get the information relayed to Coach Napier in the booth and let them know that the safeties are doing this and they're rotating here. And
Yep. Friday night, you're working with Coach Wilson there and Coach Sparks on the sidelines on getting the plays in and getting the communication from the press box. That's an interesting dance, I guess, that goes on between us up in the press box and you guys out on the field, right? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, Coach Napier, he makes sure he goes nice and slow to get the play in. He makes sure he takes his time. That way we can get the signals in right. And really, I mean, as soon as the ball's dead, Peyton's looking and he's coming over to try and get the signal. If we have to signal or if he's close enough, he'll run over and we'll say it in his ear. That way it's a little bit more efficient. We don't have to worry about any confusion with getting the play in.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for everything you do, and thanks for coming on the show, and good luck with the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
So right here back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
When the diagnosis is cancer, you want the best. Advanced surgical, radiation, and chemotherapy treatment, all available under one roof. A center large enough to treat advanced or complex cases. A dedicated team of physicians, nurses, and therapists treating each patient the way they would want to be treated. It's all here at Hamilton Regional Cancer Institute. Hamilton Medical Center. Your health is our mission.
A restaurant should be more than just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Outback. I want to put my name on the list.
There's no place like Outback. With caller-ahead seating,
Nelson?
Just call up, get on the list, and you'll be seated in no time. Outback's caller-ahead seating.
Back on Catamount football with the highlights here. And, Coach, it was a beautiful night, great football weather, a little cool, but certainly a nice night. And there's a look at our captains coming down the field, a couple of juniors there.
That's right, that's right. Just a great job, great environment, great field. That they really have a nice facility up there. And it was senior night, so that always kind of messes around with our pregame, but that's all right. That's part of it.
Opening possession here, a little rollout play action pass. Peter Sigmund makes a nice catch, picks up a first down.
Tyler Britton makes a good tackle there. No.
See the field level view of it. There's Peyton rolling out, nice throw. Good job, Peter, avoiding the tackle.
Now there's that sideline management you were talking
Absolutely.
about earlier.
Here's Tyler Nolan on a off-tackle power play, and see Tyler again carrying the ball. He really has a lot of different capabilities, our team. The returns, the carrying the ball, catching the ball. Here's Peyton on a little option, quarterback keep.
His versatility is clearly what makes him so dangerous.
He's a great catches the ball. You'll see him later on.
Absolutely.
Make a great catch. Here's Kelvis. Good job by the big guys downfield. There's Juan Pacheco
That's
and
what
Chris
you like
Hicks
to see right there.
down there, blocking downfield, trying to get down there, get after that little safety.
It's like an eclipse coming, isn't it? The shadow alone.
There's the quarterback sneak touchdown vulture, Veraldi for a touchdown.
That's right. Good job this week of just snaps and good hold. This was a this was a team offensively that had they did a couple of plays really, really well, and we're really worried about them coming in and didn't run them that much.
Right.
So didn't know if they didn't feel they could have success against it. Great job. Chipper Elrod turned in another just a solid game for us at defensive end. They moved the ball on us this first drive, a couple of plays, getting a big play there by Eder, and that was a third down play, and winds up putting them back in, obviously back in field goal where they can't score from there. So came in and had a good kicker, just a good chip shot, and he was a guy that could make all the kicks, and so just a good job by them executing there and not tying it, making it 7-3.
Come back with a toss sweep. Got Logan Pender leading Kelvis there. That's one of the plays that we've taken a lot of pride in being able to run this, whether we ran it to the tight end side or the weak side. Something we've really hung our hat on the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Here comes Tyler Nolan on a little counter play.
Those guys work so well together, he and Kelvis, because it's just two different types of runners.
And here's the big one of our three fullbacks.
The new 54?
That's right. Tucker Sumner there at fullback, and there's Zeke. Nice catch and a great run after the catch. Makes a couple guys miss, breaks a tackle, makes a couple guys miss, and scores a touchdown.
He's really learning. This is a new position for Zeke. Zeke's always been either a tailback or a quarterback, but he's a young guy that's got all the talent in the world, and he's kind of beginning to find his way out here at receiver. This is a new position for him, and it's not the only place he plays for us. He plays tailback for us, plays a little wildcat quarterback. So he's a guy that people are going to see a lot of, hear a lot of, but clearly the key for him is just keep working hard every day and just getting better. Coach Long's put a lot of time in him, and his teammates have. It's not easy to go into a new position, particularly at a varsity level. And I think that's what a lot of people misunderstand is, why don't you just play this guy here or there? Sometimes you really got to kind of take a little while to get them to it. Great job there of our defense, and from this point on, they really began to kind of get in their own. Like I said, we finished with negative yards. This was the part of the game, though, that we've been working really, really hard at. And Tyler Nolan is just a single part of it, even though he gets a lot of credit for it. You see that right there. Guys blocking downfield. Peter Sigmund, Charlie, Jordan McKinney, Eder Mora, Kevin Nguyen, Elijah Stidman, Chris Childs, Devontae Davis, Warner Braun. These guys just do such a great job of taking pride. Airbeth Martinez. Everybody's important on this right here. And for a guy to make a run, I don't care what level it is, it takes everybody for a guy to flip the field like that. And
it's such an advantage.
Absolutely.
Toss sweep coming again, and there goes Kelvis in for a touchdown. Had a late hit there in the end zone. So.
Yep.
Little question on how that penalty was enforced. I thought we could have gotten it on the kickoff, and here you can see big Chris Hicks coming around there. And
good block there.
There's Tucker. Yeah.
They actually called a face mask on that.
That was a face mask.
Yeah. It was
there's Kiko with the extra point. Makes it 21-0 or 21-3.
Little fake here, and winds up coming back to him, and Eder just does a good job of. Eder's such a smart player. He knows when to take the bait and when to not, and that's a little play that they try to fake pump. We got great pressure this week. Coach Carpenter chose to bring our linebackers a little bit more than we notoriously have. A lot of times we'll try to keep those guys in pressure. In a drop position and maybe put a little more pressure with our ends. But he let our linebackers get a little bit more into the play this
back
week.
On offense, and here comes Kelvis. A couple good fakes there and gains 8 or 9 yards.
He's a whiz with the ball.
He is.
He has so many different running styles.
Good job by Peyton here avoiding the sack and hitting Tyler Nolan. That was something we had seen. The weakness of their defense was a throwback, the way they were adjusting to our formation, and we hadn't got the quick pressure here. You can see Tyler coming out of the screen. Yeah. He'd have had him in stride, and it'd been about a 70-yard touchdown.
And Tyler did a good job of adjusting his route.
He really did.
He saw that Peyton was getting flushed out, and he stuck that foot in the grass, worked back to him. That's a great job there.
Comes just a little off tackle play with the fullback, and that's Eder. Taking the ball in the end zone. He's just so versatile, can do so many things, whether it's in the kicking game, on defense, or on offense.
Another thing there, as you see, is that's the advantage of having Kelvis Rhodes in your backfield as well. a lot of people keying on him. We talked about that during the game. In this game, he just had a little over 100 yards this game. He could probably had 200, but he's an unselfish player. Great job here at Coach Cole Bennett calling this out. He saw this and tipped us off to it, and we alerted our backside and just did a great job there.
They ran a screen. I'm telling you, he dropped 20. The quarterback dropped from the 19-yard line to the goal line. A 20-yard drop on the screen.
Just come back with a little trap here, and Devontae Davis does a great job. Ewa Perez does a great job of trying to get on it, but they wound up wrestling it away from him. Come back, and here get a great trip by Chris Childs. Devontae again's in the right place. Devontae's turning into a ball hawk. You love seeing that. Those guys working together right there. That's it takes a village to raise a kid. Well, it takes a lot of guys to play good defense. And right now you see 3 guys around the ball. That's just great coaching and great playing.
I didn't think I'd hear you ever quote Hillary Clinton.
It will be the only time, trust me. Only when it's talking about good things.
Here comes a fake punt. Great scheme on this fake punt. Everybody goes right, and Enter just runs left.
Well, we keep it simple on the defensive side. Now, they kind of wholesale changed and did a few things differently the week prior, and we was kind of hoping that we might get that look. And lo and behold, sometimes you call the right thing at the right time, and it worked out real well. I mean, it's hard to kick a field goal from 40, so you got to kind of look for something different. And there's McKinney playing great again. Good kick here, and we got to do a little better job of catching the ball in the air. But the great thing about Tyler, he at least picks up what we lost on roll.
Yeah, and there's very few that he doesn't catch. And here's Tucker Sumner with just a good hard run in there, straight ahead, and fake to Jacob Bartu, and Peyton keeps it.
Yeah, once again, right there, great fake there, and Chase Westfall just played another great, outstanding game. I mean, he's become
Chase is such a great asset for us.
And right there is another example, and I'm sure we'll see we because of Wyatt Irwin's injury and because of the injuries that we've had to take Logan Pender from fullback and help him. He's helped out our team by learning tight end, and you see right here, he makes a good block, stays with his block, and that's what bounces it out there. And so it's been a good thing to have the versatility. Logan's a guy that's going to play a lot of football for us in the future, but right now he's filling in where we have to have him, which is that second tight end
and he still plays fullback too. I think.
Yeah, he's learning both plays.
Got a couple of carries in this game. And
good kick there by Kiko. Kiko gets the ball up quick, and I know what you like about Kiko is he wants to play another position.
That's right.
So, great job of Etta right there. I mean, he's such a quick reader, and he reads through that. He gets there and makes a great play. Of course, we had other guys there, Chipper there, and obviously Devontae. Good pressure right here by Jake. Jay Rocco led us in tackles. I believe he had right at 10 tackles, and he just, like I said, just very solid. Jay probably had one of the best games he's had this whole year. So he's coming into his own at a good time.
He's gotten better every week.
Absolutely. Once again, just another great play there by Jay stepping into the gap. So great job there. Get some pressure here, and then Devontae just reads his keys and just sets right on that little out. And Devontae's really been working on his pass game. He's always been a great blitzer, but you'll see he works off of number 2, gets underneath number 1, makes a great play there. Just a good job.
Yeah, always good to win a turnover battle.
Absolutely. Good fake right here, come back, a little throwback to the fullback coming out of the backfield.
That's something Tucker does well, is catch the football.
Yeah.
He surprisingly, you wouldn't think a guy that big would catch the ball like that, but he does a really good job of catching the football.
That's true.
Take a quick break. Be back with the second half highlights in just a minute.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
All right, Coach, we're back with the second half highlights, and I just want to warn you here, don't
go to the bathroom.
Don't go to the restroom because you'll miss them. It's not long right here.
No,
because of the running clock.
Yeah, this is a running clock, and obviously I think coming out of halftime, obviously they alert both coaches that it's going to be a running clock.
But it's not our choice.
It's not our choice. It's mandated by the GHSA, and so many points going into the fourth quarter, and then so many points going into the second half, and the coach that is down gets to make that choice. It doesn't. I wouldn't
whether
have
we
anything.
agree to it or not.
Yeah, whether we agree with it or not. And from sportsmanship standpoint, you surely do want to minimize running the score up. We've seen some stuff that's happened this week, but at the same time, it's very frustrating for us as coaches because we want to get our young players in.
That's right.
We're a team that's not going to run the score up on you. I don't care about beating somebody 65-0. Anybody watch the Lafayette game can tell that we tried everything that we could to keep the game where it was respectable. But at the end of the day, you got to run your offense, and you got to run what your guys have worked on.
Well, there's a limited number of game snaps available, and to cut them out like that with
for
a
those
running
young
clock,
guys,
the young kids don't get to play because 10 years ago, this game in the fourth quarter would have been the JV guys on both teams playing.
Absolutely,
and it's been so valuable.
And that's what happens
for
in the
Heritage
fourth quarter,
and for Dalton.
And that's technically what happens here in the fourth quarter. I mean, we bring in a lot of our JV guys, and they do too. Another great play here by Jordan McKinney, and felt like he had the right foot in, and our sideline official there did not feel that he did, so we'll leave that up to him. But like I said, great job by McKinney. I know this is a big game for him. Once again, you see great pressure. Christian Ortiz and the Puma is in for us. Roderick Davison and Warner Braun. These are some guys. This will probably be next year's starting defensive line.
Right.
So this is a great opportunity to get those guys in. Those guys have played sparingly for us this year, and they're really kind of, I think they call them the Wolves. That's our pass rush specialist guys, so it's good to get them in some running situations as well. We're getting a little thin on depth, so that's why you still see some of our first guys in, and we're still working on a few parts of our offense.
I was going to say, and I think we wanted them to have one good drive in the second half, and with the way the clock ran, we had the one possession in the third quarter, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so we really wanted these guys to finish out the game on a strong note and have one good drive in the second half, and it just wound up being
into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, at the beginning of the fourth quarter where we got it done. Good job, Peyton, of avoiding some pressure there.
And they were a little loose with the old running clock. I know a couple of times there were timeouts in the third quarter, which we had purposely tried to kind of call to minimize a little bit of the time. And lo and behold, the clock's still running.
Right.
So that's the first time I ever had that happen with a running clock.
Here comes Tyler, the great run, great block by Juan Pacheco there, and Chase Westfall downfield.
And that's not for the faint of heart, but you can see it right here.
There, boom.
That's great. That's a great tackle. I mean, great block right there by Juan. Good snap, good hold. Once again, Grant Sane doing an outstanding job at our snapper, and Nathan Bryant holding for us. Come back here, and they just, like I said, they've kind of relegated to trying to minimize the pain here, I guess you'd say. Come back and get up under center, and really just pretty much just kind of run power for the next two or three plays. Come back here and want to throw on a third and long, 3rd and 7. Great job of our defensive line just continuing to just harass and get back there on him. Like I said, when you're playing great coverage, you can just, you can blitz with 4 guys.
A young quarterback needs to throw the ball out of bounds. Yeah. Those offensive linemen are not happy.
The chain guys need to become his friend.
Now we've got the JV offense in there, and for some reason, Peyton wound up out there on the field hitting the ball.
Well, I think our other quarterback was out there warming up, so just was still warming up when we were playing.
Exactly.
So, great job, of all our coaches and our players. Very proud of them, and we sadly lost Salvador Alejandre for the year, it looks like, but outside of that, great game by our Cats.
Wood, 299. Wood, 159. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback. Hi, my name is Charles R. Hicks Sr. I'm the owner of AAA Transformers, Transmission, and Complete Auto Repair. This is my son, CJ. You well know us for remanufacturing your transmission, but did you also know we are a brake, AC, and tune-up specialist? Our brakes come with a lifetime warranty on pads and shoes. So don't just trust your vehicle to anyone. Come to AAA Transformers, Transmission, and Complete Auto Repair, where we can make it stop, we can make it go, we can make it shift, and we can make it cold. Check us out on our website at AAATransformers.com.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We've got a special guest on the show today. We've got Santiago Nava. Santiago, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, Coach Ryan.
First, let's talk about kind of update everybody on your family, because you had kind of a unique situation. You had four brothers, or you and three brothers that played at Dalton High. Talk about each one of them and kind of what they're doing right now.
Well, Zeke, he was always my first brother.
Which is an offensive lineman, big guy.
Very big guy. He's doing great. He just had 4 kids, and we also had a recent niece with him too. So it's great to see him have different kinds of kids.
And he's played in the alumni game. He's enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, that was Zeke. And then Gustavo, he's the one that recently had his first daughter as well. So
okay.
We have another niece added to the family, and then Edgar, he's right now an educator at City Park. So.
And Edgar was a defensive lineman, and Gus was a
Gus was linebacker.
And
Edgar was guard.
Yep. And then you were the youngest receiver, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I ran into you the other day, and you were telling me what you're doing now. So first off, you're in college at Dalton State, and you're majoring in education, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are your goals about being a teacher? What do you want to do? And tell me why you picked that vocation.
Well, to be a teacher, I want to be a teacher because I had great teachers, especially all throughout high school and through Dalton public schools. They had great examples, and I feel like I should give back to the community and be be example for other kids. So I want to be a secondary education teacher.
So either middle school or high school, and certainly I know you want to be involved in coaching at some level, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you've gotten a head start on the coaching thing. Talk about what you did at the rec this year, at the rec department, and the team you coached, and tell us about them and kind of why you chose to do that also.
Well, I want to do the rec department because since I'm young and I want to make sure I'm going the right career path, I went and got my feet wet and started coaching. And I talked to Steve about it, and Steve gave me...
Steve Roberts.
Steve Roberts,
yep.
Yes, sir. He gave me an opportunity. He pretty much gave me my own little team, and it was 7 and 8-year-olds. And one of the best part is that since Dalton's a very diverse community, I had first-time players and especially Hispanics come out and play. So that was a great opportunity to show them how to play football and pretty much get them a head start, let them know how the sport's played, and they all had fun.
So tell me what the young fellows thought about playing for especially the guys that hadn't played football before. What did they think about it? How did you work with them and get them going in the right direction football-wise?
Well, first off, they asked me how old I was throughout the whole time because they looked at everybody else's coaches and they're like, "Why are you so young?" I go, "Well, I'm young because this is what I want to do, and I want to, teach y'all how to play football. So with me being young, I have a lot more energy for y'all."
Right. That's right.
And they loved it. So pretty much they trusted me, and they pretty much, and especially the parents. I also talked to parents about that because not many of the parents knew I was a student and I was working too. So I'm glad I had great parents that worked with me as well and understood what I was doing.
And the season just wrapped up. So tell me about being a coach. Now, what did you think about that? Was it different than what you expected, or was it a little harder than what you expected?
Well, first off, it was just time management skills. I learned how to work on that, and overall, it was a great experience for me because not only that I just got done coaching with teaching new kids how to play, this is the right career path I'm choosing, and it's something where I'll really go into and work hard for.
Right. Dalton Parks and Rec does a great job with the youth football. Stephen Roberts has that organized. He makes it pretty easy for you guys. Is it possible to with the schedule and everything?
Yes, sir. It's very possible. I also work at another job too, so
right.
I managed to make everything work out for me.
Right. Well, Santiago, your family you guys made a great contribution to Dalton, and I know there's going to be some more novices coming along down the path, but certainly wanted to recognize you for what you're doing, and you're just a fine young man, and appreciate you giving back to the community already at, what are you, 20 years old?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stay right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
When your doctor recommends an MRI, CT scan, or other diagnostic study, you should know that not all imaging centers offer the same level of quality. Hamilton Diagnostic Center's advanced digital imaging technology reduces radiation dosages, limits retakes, and allows same-day turnaround on your imaging results. Each study is read and reviewed by our expert team of specialty radiologists, who often collaborate on complex cases. Hamilton Diagnostic Center, your health is our mission.
Back on Catamount football, and Coach Land got the scouting report, played the Southeast Raiders this week, and certainly a team that Coach Gray they're playing with a lot of confidence,
sure.
and that program's improving.
They have. Coach Gray has now been with them a couple of years. I believe he came through their feeder program, and obviously he has a high school history coaching in the area. I think these guys do. They're believing in what they do, and they're playing with some passion, it looks like. And when you look at them on film, obviously the things that they do today could be different than what they'll do the next Friday. Certainly that has been at least some of our history this year. Some teams have tried to put some new things in for us the week of I don't really anticipate that. I think this will be a week that appears what they're doing is kind of what they'll be in on Friday night.
So looking at them defensively, they're typically a four-man front. They've showed a few different looks based on playing some spread teams, but they're physical up front. Went back and watched some of our game from last year, and it was a good battle between their front seven and our offensive line. Well,
they're a team that Coach Gray has had an opportunity to play us quite a few times, and so obviously he knows what our tendencies are and what we'll be, and so I think that has in the past produced a lot of situations where a lot of people have tried to get as many in the box as possible. We would expect that would be kind of the situation this week. One of the things that strikes you is they do have a senior-laden group. This is probably a team that has been together the longest of probably, when I say longest as far as playing, a lot of these guys have been playing since they were freshmen.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
so they've got a lot of game experience, and so I'm looking forward to our kids getting ready and getting prepared this week for a good game.
Absolutely. Offensively, they spread, but they're a power run team, really.
Yeah.
Out of that look, they want to line up and mash people, and they got a big offensive line.
They do. They got a big offensive line, and they kind of bounce around between a couple of quarterbacks to kind of give you a change up of what kind of personality they want to have. But they do stay consistent in both with their power run game. So whether they're in a traditional eye under center or they're in a spread, they're going to concentrate on running the ball. And so, with that being the case, that always presents a trouble for any defense when you spread them out, but yet still run the ball inside. So we'll have to kind of get back in our bag of films and see how we've played that in the past and maybe bring that back this week.
Absolutely. Should be a good game Friday night, so I want everybody to come out and support us.
Absolutely.
Stay right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
A restaurant should be more than just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
You can have it all because you're the star with OptiLink, TV, internet, and telephone service, and VIP access to the best customer service around. Don't you deserve the star treatment?
With OptiLink.
With OptiLink.
With OptiLink,
I'm the star.
Get the star treatment with OptiLink. Sign up today.
Well, Coach Lane, we've come to the end of another show, and a few things talking here before we close up. First, kind of the I guess the obvious thing, the play-in playoffs scenario situation. Right. With us winning Friday night against Heritage and Northwest beating Southeast, that clinched us a spot in that region championship game. But that's certainly still a big game this week, and a lot of excitement. And, looking forward, want everybody to come out to Harmon Field and support us Friday night.
Yeah, we've talked about with our team and with our leadership since week one, that every week will be a step, and we're climbing the stairs and we're trying to get to a point. And you never skip stairs when you're going up. You got to hit them all. So we will not overlook this Southeast team this week, a team that's more than capable of coming in and playing well against us and obviously playing well enough to beat us. So this will be a work week for us, just like the rest of them. Then from there, you look forward, and I'm proud of these guys. They've kind of accomplished not the goal, but the first stage of the goal, which is just to get to the dance. Right. They've done what they've had to do. The other pieces have kind of fallen in place, and now to kind of talk about the other side of that, this week's Gilmer-Cedartown game will obviously be for the South Sub-Region champion, and then that we'll know who our opponent will be. And then that is a game that is played. All the play-in games are played in the South, as we've mentioned before. So regardless of which of which team it is, we'll be going and playing on the road. So I want to encourage everybody to not just come out this Friday night, but also come out the next Friday.
Talk about that next week.
Yeah, and then at that point, all the seatings will be set up coming out of those. I forget exactly what it is. I think there's like two or three regions basically in each classification that have some sort of play-in game or a playoff game going into that last week of the season. So we're not the only ones that are in this position. There'll be some others across the state that we're just not going to know until after the last week of the season.
And we'll talk more about this next week. But I think one thing I've been impressed with by our kids has really been the lack of talk about this situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have really been focused on that, on the upcoming week's opponent.
Absolutely.
And really not a lot of thoughts about, we can clinch the sub-region or we're in the championship.
Yeah. Now
we really don't hear that from them.
Did not hear not one time this week a conversation about, well, if Southeast lost, if we win, and Coach, does that mean? These guys know that it's a week-by-week process, and we're taking it week by week. And, I don't expect anything different this week. As I said, this will be a great week of our guys to prepare for an opponent that's going to do some things that we do well. And so we're going to have to be on it. We're going to have to play one of our best games this week to get through this week and to get to that goal. And it's like you said, one of the great things about this team and the leadership of this team, while the goal has been obviously something we've talked about all along, obviously we've been very vocal about it within the team, but also talking about it in the paper and whatever, they've not overlooked what's at hand. And each week, and this week is the Southeast Raiders. That's who we've got to prepare for.
I think that shows
not
some
anybody else.
Good maturity on their part.
Absolutely.
And just a good job by those older kids of kind of setting
Absolutely. And I think also a great job out of our coaches. I think our coaches, you guys have done an outstanding job of keeping these guys on the business of today. We can't really do anything about tomorrow. We can do something about today. And so, our coaches have done a great job and keeping everything. And for that much, I think the parents has as well. I think a lot of them have kind of eliminated any of those talks. So like I said, I'm very proud of our football team. I'm very proud of where we're at. We've clearly not accomplished our goals yet and won't accomplish our goal with one game, but we're one step closer to where we're going. And looking forward to this week's game versus Southeast and then whatever's after that.
Young fellows will finish up this week playing. The JV team will play Southeast at Southeast on Thursday. 5:30, bring
That's
your
right.
candy, bring your Halloween mask.
That's
and
right. That's
come
right.
out and trick or treat with the JV Catamount.
That's
right?
exactly right. That'll be an interesting. I've already. It was kind of funny. Coach Gray texted me probably maybe about a month ago and said, "Have we canceled this game?" And I said, "No, not to my knowledge." Well, turned around about 2 weeks later, I get quite a few text messages from some of our parents. Hey, has this game been canceled? So I think the Halloween gods out there and all those Halloween people, they wanted to get to trick or treating quicker. You'll get plenty of time to trick or treat. This, it's a 5:30 game. It won't even get dark till 7:30. So come out and watch the JV teams play, and there'll be plenty of time for trick or treating.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up here, I want to make sure we thank, as usual, the quarterback club, the band, the cheerleaders, the parents, everybody that makes it a good experience for our kids. They all do such a wonderful job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I tell you, this week I want to kind of give a shout out to just our athletic office, Jeff McKinney and Brandy Sanderson. They've done a great job with organizing our first color run that we had, which was just a general athletic department fundraiser. It was neat. Had over 100 participants in our first year, and that was just a fun thing. There's a couple of links. I think there's going to be one online at daltonfootball.com. You can go in and see what that's about. We'd love to have some corporate sponsors or just some more people do it next year. But they've also done a lot this month with our breast cancer awareness, and they had to put a lot of that together. And I just want them to know how much we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, let's close up the show like we always do. We'll say we'll be back next week, same cat time, same cat channel.
Go Big Red.